Am I the a-hole for publicly humiliating my stepmom during her wedding speech after pretending to help with the wedding? So, I, 16 female, recently did something that everyone in my family is calling cruel and immature. But I honestly don't feel that bad, and I want to know if I'm truly the villain here. My dad, 45 male, just got remarried to Trish, 38 female. My dad cheated on my mom with her for almost a year before they got caught. I was 13 when it all blew up. My mom was a stay-at-home mom who gave up her career for our family, and she was completely blindsided. Watching her break down like that was one of the worst things I've ever gone through. My dad moved in with Trish within 2 months and proposed to her last year. He kept telling me that I needed to accept his happiness and that Trish wanted to build a relationship with me. I mostly stayed quiet to keep the peace, but I never forgave either of them. I've been in therapy, by the way. When the wedding was being planned, Trish actually asked me to be part of it, helping organize, coordinating with vendors, and even doing a speech at the reception. I smiled, said sure, and played along. I helped pick flowers, tasted cakes, and even picked out my own dress. But inside, I was stewing. Every time Trish called us a blended family, I felt sick. So at the reception, I got up to do my speech. Everyone was smiling. Trish was beaming at me. I cleared my throat and said, paraphrased obviously, "When I was 13, I watched my family fall apart because my dad decided to cheat on my mom with the woman he's marrying today. So while everyone here is raising a glass to love, I just want to remind you, not every love story starts with honesty. Some start with betrayal. Cheers." I put down the mic and walked out. The room was dead silent. Not everyone there knew that it had all started with an affair. Trish started crying. My dad chased me outside and screamed at me, calling me a selfish brat and saying I ruined the most important day of Trish's life. My grandma, his mom, actually defended me and told him he made his bed, but most of the family is furious. I've been getting texts calling me a drama queen, attention seeker, even cruel. But was I? After everything they did to my mom and our family, was it really so wrong to make them feel humiliated for once? Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. You did what so many people wish they had the guts to do. Agreed. More people need to get publicly humbled like this. Maybe if cheaters got booed at receptions, we'd see less of it, Limau. I don't get how cheating is a mistake, but calling it out is cruel. Nah, you don't get to torch a house and cry when someone points at the flames. As a grown adult myself whose own parents' marriage ended because of a messy divorce that also involved cheating, and being my mother maid of honor at the poor woman's wedding to her affair partner, I applaud you 1,000,000%. Good for you. People deserve to know the truth. If they're embarrassed by it, that's their own fault for being who they are and what they did. Myself and my siblings chose not to give speeches at the wedding, where his kids did. Everyone there asked us why we didn't give a speech, and we told the truth. It's on them for being embarrassed by their actions. OP's grandma is based. Grandma was also biting her tongue from the sound of it. It was bratty and petty, and that was the intention. So yeah, you choose to expose them because you wanted to do that. Is it an a-hole move? Yeah, but sometimes we can choose that if we want to do. You're the a-hole, and that's okay. Yeah, I disagree with all the people saying OP is not the a-hole. OP is very obviously the a-hole. She wanted revenge and to hurt her dad and his wife. That's her motivation. That being said, none of us are going to feel sorry for the couple because it's very hard to argue that they didn't deserve it. Sometimes it's fine being the a-hole. There's a line from a movie where the one guy says, "I guess what's wrong about you? You're not an a-hole after all." And the other guy says, "No, I am. I'm just your kind of a-hole." Sometimes being an a-hole is the right thing to do. Next story. Am I the a-hole for choosing my 19-year-old niece over my brother by allowing her to live with me? My brother Vince, 40s, is the father to 2 daughters, Kaya, 19, and Lily, 7. Kaya has lived with my family for more than a year now, and allowing her to live with us has stained the relationship with my brother to a breaking point and created tension within my wider family. Kaya and Lily's mom, Beth, died just after giving birth to Lily. During Beth's pregnancy with Lily, she was diagnosed with a heart condition that weakened her. There were plans to deliver Lily early so that she and Beth had the best chance. Vince asked Beth to wait longer so that Lily had a better chance. Kaya and my parents were around to hear this discussion, and when Beth died hours after Lily was born, Kaya blamed Vince. And then when Vince remarried within a year of Beth's death, and his new wife Michelle Fortes adopted Lily, it destroyed any relationship Kaya had left with Vince. Vince had promised Beth that he would make sure Lily knew who she was always, if something happened. But after Michelle adopted Lily, they began talking like Michelle was her biological mother. Michelle would tell Lily, even as a young toddler, that the day she was born was the best day of her life, or how happy she and Vince were when they had Lily. There are people who were under the assumption that Kaya's mom died and Lily was Michelle's biological child. Kaya fought a lot with Vince and Michelle. She told her dad she hated him and that he betrayed her mom. She blamed him for her mom's death, shamed him for raising and replacing Beth with Michelle, and giving her mom's daughter to Michelle. She wished he'd been the one to die instead of her mom. She told Michelle she hoped Beth haunted her every day for stealing Lily. They punished her a lot because they didn't want Lily to hear and figure out what was going on. She was not allowed to talk about Beth to Lily, and they stopped the girls spending time together because they knew Kaya would tell Lily the truth. I was always super close to Kaya and was there for her when most of our wider family were more in support of Vince and Michelle and Lily. I got some grief for that because I was reminded that Vince lost his wife and was left with 2 girls to raise, and that Michelle was just trying to love Lily and give her a mom and was being tormented by a teenager because of it. But I could see Kaya's side, and I still think Vince has handled this all so badly. They might all argue that this is better for Lily, but she'll have to know someday, and I have to imagine there could very well be a lot of pain for her when she realizes the truth. I think there's a very real chance Lily and Kaya will never be capable of being close. When Kaya turned 18, she asked if she could live with me and my husband and our kids. We said yes. I was happy to have her come stay, and I knew it was better than her being on her own. But as I mentioned, this was not something Vince approved of, and he wanted me to kick Kaya out. I refused. We didn't speak for months, and when he heard from another one of our siblings that Kaya was still with me, he reached back out and told me I had chosen Kaya over him, my own brother. He sent me a text exchange between him and Kaya where she told him that his happiness wasn't deserved and he should have stayed single forever after what he did to her mom. He told me that was what I was supporting, and I told him I wasn't kicking Kaya out and to quit trying. My parents told me I could help Kaya find somewhere else and not divide the family like this. I asked how they could punish their own granddaughter after everything. They said Vince only wanted the best chance for Lily, and that Kaya has been grossly unfair about this whole thing. They told me I was being unfair to Vince and to our family, and I'm helping to divide us. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. You are one of the only people doing right by both Kaya and Beth. Your brother clearly must not have respected or loved his late wife. To have immediately replaced her and erased her from her daughter's lives completely like that. Especially considering that's exactly what Beth asked him not to do. Your brother is a POS. Stand with Kaya. It breaks my heart because I know Beth loved her girls so much, and I remember how scared she was when she realized how bad her condition was affecting her. Knowing Kaya's had to live with it all hurts me too. She loved both her mom and her dad, and she was excited to be a big sister, and it all went badly in the end. How do you keep 2 sisters living in the same house away from each other? Kaya only left a year ago. Surely Lily remembers she has a sister. They did it by not allowing Kaya to speak to Lily, by getting Kaya out of the house a lot, and Lily being with Michelle frequently. I know Kaya didn't eat with everyone else at the table. Things like that were done to keep them apart. So they isolated her to that degree on top of everything else? Poor girl. Your brother and Michelle should be ashamed of themselves for treating Kaya that way. And your parents should be ashamed of themselves for allowing Kaya to be treated that way. You are the only one who seems to be doing the right thing by her. When I confronted him over it, after I found out, he said it wasn't done to isolate Kaya but to protect Lily. He said Kaya would have gladly tore Lily's world apart, and they wanted to prevent that happening. always excusing awful things to protect the lie. Next story. Am I the a-hole for staying no contact with my sister-in-law after years of hostility, even though she keeps trying to provoke me? My sister-in-law and I were once close, until my partner and I got engaged and chose a wedding venue that apparently wasn't the one she wanted us to pick. We were never told this. After that, things deteriorated quickly. She got upset when we shared wedding plans in a family group chat, so I created a separate chat without her to respect her wishes. She later discovered it by snooping and has held a grudge for years, still referring to it sarcastically. The night before the wedding, she dressed her daughter in a different gown from the flower girl dress we provided and called our chosen dresses stripper dresses. She also told people she wouldn't attend, then showed up anyway. After a family vacation that ended in a short honeymoon extension, which we paid for using travel points from a family member, she sent a long message accusing me of using everyone and tearing the family apart. When we didn't respond, she sent a follow-up saying, "This is day 2 of no response. They must be super distraught or don't give a damn." She later texted someone else in the family, "Stop licking their freaking a-holes," and call them out. We've been no contact for about 7 years now, but she continues to find ways to provoke me. Years later, when she found out through someone else that I was pregnant, she sent this, "Congrats on the baby. Lost job and got pregnant. Couldn't have played that one better myself. You single-handedly started this. I'm doubling down. I don't have anything to lose." Most recently, she mailed me a book about manipulation with a note that said, 2025, a year of self-awareness. Despite being blocked on all platforms, and my husband and I not having spoken to her in years, I've never responded to any of her messages. I don't involve her in my life in any way, and yet I still feel conflicted. Part of me feels bad for how far things have gone, but most of me just wants peace. Also, there's 7 years worth of stories to tell on here from her, but not enough time to type it. So, am I the a-hole for maintaining no contact and continuing to ignore her attempts to reinsert herself into my life, even if she believes I'm the problem? Now for the comments. Wow, you really live rent-free in her head, don't you? Narcissists can't handle it when you ignore them. It's inconceivable that they aren't the center of your universe, and the biggest insult to their egos. It is clear from her declaration that she wasn't coming to your wedding and then showing up anyway, that what she wants is attention. Her subsequent behavior all supports that. Ignoring her is driving her even more batshit crazy. How is she even sending these messages when you have her blocked? I would keep ignoring her. It is killing her. And honestly, it is all the revenge you need, not the a-hole. If you have her blocked everywhere and she's creating multiple numbers or accounts to contact you, bully you, evident by the lost job got pregnant comment, I think it may be time to get a no contact order or PFA. You shouldn't need to deal with harassment. Last story. Am I the a-hole for not letting my brother rent out my dead mother's house? So, for context, my mom died last year and left me, 18 female, my younger brother 16 male, and my 6-year-old sister in our family house. She also had a smaller house nearby that my older brother, 32 male, had been living in for the last couple of years. I say brother in quotes because he is actually my cousin, and my mom kind of adopted him when his mother died when he was 22. But because we grew up in the same house, I just always called him my brother. About a year ago, he got into something with the police and ran away, so now he is basically a fugitive. Before my mom died, they were fighting because he wanted to rent out the house, since it was now vacant so that he could make some money while he was hiding out, but my mom said no. Fast forward a couple of weeks after my mom's death, he started sending people to fix up the house. It occurred to me that the only reason why he would do that is because he thought, with my mom gone, he could do whatever he wanted with the house, and because he couldn't come back, he was going to rent it out. This was proven when he called me at work to tell me that he had sent people to look at the house and to let them in. I then said no and hung up. I knew he wasn't going to let it go, so I asked my uncles if they would help, but they only told me that he had it rough after having to run away from home, like it wasn't a consequence of a choice that he made, and has a daughter to take care of. I tried to tell them that I was also alone with 2 younger siblings to take care of, and that I was going to rent out the house myself since it's basically the only inheritance I got from my mom. They told me I could always come to them if I needed anything, like I wanted to be groveling for money every time I was short on groceries, or explain my expenses to my a-hole brother every time I needed it. So, I decided to take matters into my own hands and just found someone to rent out the house and pay rent directly to me. I'm still a little scared, to be honest, because my brother is very scary when he is angry. He always treated me like crap growing up, as we grew up in a very old-school household, and he was the only man for a really long time, so he was treated like a king. Not surprising that he grew up to be a massive prick. He hasn't found out yet, and I'm honestly dreading the day he does. Fingers crossed he doesn't unalive me. Now for the comments. Am I reading this right? Your cousin brother is a fugitive who thinks he gets to play landlord with your dead mom's house while you're out here actually raising 2 kids and holding the whole damn thing together at 18? Again, 18. And he's mad because, checks notes, you're not letting him scam the one piece of stability left in your life? No, just no. Provide the police with the fugitive's phone digits and possible location. As a good citizen, you have a responsibility to do just that. A lot of people in the neighborhood have tried to report him when they see him. Nothing ever happens. You need to get the house put in your name. The house is already in my name. In my country, all assets fall to the children in the event of a parent's death. And since my siblings are both underage, it's in my name with them as my dependents. But since he doesn't really need any paperwork to rent the house, I guess he thought he could bully me into agreeing. What country are you in? You definitely need papers to rent out a house, especially one that isn't in your name. Not if he intimidated me into letting him. I'm in South Africa, by the way. Not the a-hole. You should get cameras and tell the police that he's not allowed to be there and is considered to be trespassing. And if he's caught on the property, have him arrested. Tell them that you're afraid of him based on past behavior, and maybe have an officer with you when you do tell him. Also, have all of the locks changed and clear documentation that the property is yours by inheritance. The police where I'm from are basically useless, which is why I ask my uncles for help. I have other people in the neighborhood looking out for us, but I honestly don't expect much. Locks changed and security cameras. Your tenants might be in danger as well as you. Nah, I rented out to this really big guy, and he knows what's happening and agreed to be on the lookout. My brother is kinda small, probably why he's such a prick to everyone smaller than him, but he won't go anywhere near that house once he finds out. It's me I'm worried about.